Let me ask you something really honest right now. Do you ever walk into a room and immediately feel like everyone is somehow better than you? Like they have something figured out that you don't? Like confidence is just a personality some people were born with and you just weren't one of them. I used to feel that exact same way, and I spent years thinking I was just broken in some way. But then I came across something in psychology that completely flipped everything I thought I knew about confidence. And here is the wild part: it is not a mindset trick, it is not a morning routine, it is not a motivational quote. It is one single change in the way you talk to yourself. And once you understand this, you will never see confidence the same way again. So here is what most people get completely wrong about confidence. They think confidence is something you either have or you don't. They think it comes from success or from looking good or from having people approve of you. So they spend their whole life chasing those things, trying to earn their confidence like it is a reward waiting at the end of some invisible finish line. And the moment they fail or get rejected or make a mistake, that confidence just crumbles. Because it was never really theirs to begin with. It was borrowed from the outside world. And the outside world takes it back whenever it wants. Now here is what psychology actually says about this. Researchers at the University of Waterloo did a fascinating study where they took people with low self-esteem and told them to repeat positive affirmations like "I am a confident person" or "I am worthy of love." And you know what happened? Their confidence actually got worse. Not better, worse. Because their brain knew the statement was not true yet, and that gap between what they were saying and what they actually believed created more internal conflict, not less. So those affirmations that the entire self-help world has been selling you for decades, they actually backfire for the people who need them most. Interesting, right? So if positive affirmations don't work, what does? This is where a psychologist named Ethan Kross comes in. He has spent years studying something called self-talk, and what he found is genuinely one of the most powerful things I have ever come across. The one change is this. Stop talking to yourself in first person and start talking to yourself by your own name. That is it. Instead of saying to yourself, "I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm going to fail," you say your own name followed by the thought. So if your name is Sarah, instead of "I am so nervous about this presentation," you say, "Sarah, you have prepared for this, you know this material, you've got this." Now this might sound too simple to actually work. But the science behind it is incredibly deep. When you use your name to address yourself, your brain actually shifts perspective. It stops seeing the situation as a personal threat and starts processing it more like a wise friend would. You create a tiny bit of distance between you and your emotion. And in that tiny bit of distance is where your confidence actually lives. Kross calls this psychological distancing, and his research showed that people who used their own name during stressful situations performed significantly better, thought more clearly, and recovered from failures faster. And it gets even more interesting. When athletes used this technique before competitions, their heart rate was lower, their self-doubt was quieter, and they actually enjoyed the challenge instead of fearing it. Think about that for a second. Not running from pressure, but actually enjoying it. That is what real confidence feels like. Now let me explain why this actually works at a deeper level, because I think once you understand this, it will stick with you forever. Your brain has a negativity bias. It is designed by evolution to treat every social risk like a life or death situation. And when you say "I am failing, I am not good enough," those words hit your nervous system like a threat. Your body goes into protection mode. Your thinking narrows, your creativity shuts down, and your confidence disappears completely. But here is the beautiful thing. When you use your own name, something shifts in the brain. Neuroscience research using brain imaging actually shows that this small shift in language activates the prefrontal cortex more effectively. That is the part of your brain responsible for calm, rational thinking. It is the same part that activates when you give advice to a friend. And notice how easy it is to be confident and wise when talking to someone else. You would never say to your best friend, "You are a complete failure, you will never figure this out." You would say, "Hey, look, you have done hard things before, this is just another challenge, you can get through it." But when it comes to yourself, you flip into this brutal inner critic without even noticing. The name trick interrupts that pattern instantly. It gives you access to the same wisdom and encouragement you would give someone you love. So here is exactly how you start using this today, and I want to be really practical with you. The first situation is before anything scary. Before a job interview, before a difficult conversation, before you walk into a social situation where you feel anxious. Just pause and say your name out loud, or even in your head, followed by "You have done hard things before." This moment does not define you, just show up and see what happens. The second situation is when you fail. Because this is where most people completely destroy themselves mentally. When something goes wrong, instead of saying "I always mess things up, I am so stupid," you say your name followed by "Okay, that did not go the way you wanted. What can you learn from this, and how do you move forward?" Do you feel the difference? One locks you in shame, the other moves you toward growth. The third situation is in moments of comparison. Because comparison is one of the biggest killers of confidence. When you see someone doing better than you and you feel that familiar sinking feeling. Instead of "I will never be that good," you say your name followed by "You are on your own path and you are moving forward, and that is all that matters right now." Here is what I want you to really take away from all of this. Confidence is not something you build once and carry forever. It is a daily conversation you have with yourself. And most people are having that conversation in the worst possible way without even realizing it. The moment you change the language of that inner conversation, everything starts to shift. Not overnight, but consistently over time, like water slowly shaping stone. You start showing up differently. You start taking more risks. You start recovering faster from setbacks. Not because the world changed, but because the way you see yourself changed. And it all started with something as simple as using your own name. Psychology is not complicated at the core. It just asks you to treat yourself with the same basic respect and wisdom you would give to anyone else you care about. So from today, try it. Just once, before something that makes you nervous. Call yourself by your name and speak to yourself like someone who actually deserves to figure this out. Because you do.